Hola, hey, I'm John Scholes. Many of you know me, some of you don't, but hopefully you will soon. Um, I was diagnosed with epilepsy when I was 5 years old. Um, it just started when I was in class and I was just staring off. I had absent seizures, just staring off in the middle of nowhere. My teachers recognized it as something that was abnormal. Uh, so, so they called my parents. My parents took me to a doctor, and the doctor did some studies, and it turned out I was. A question that I hear often, is it normal to have like stretches or periods when you don't have seizures? Well, after first being diagnosed, my family moved to Indiana, and I saw a neurologist in Indiana, and that guy said, I didn't have epilepsy. So I went off all meds from middle school through high school. I wasn't on meds, and I didn't have seizures. But when I was like 19, I started having juvenile myoclonic epilepsy, where I would just lose consciousness for like just a moment, but it would cause me to fall down the stairs. It always happened in the morning, always. Um, so I went to a bunch of doctors, cardiologist. I think neurologist was like the last doctor I went to because we didn't think it was anything to do with seizures. And that doctor did some studies, and it turned out, I still did have epilepsy. He put me back on some meds, and I was fine. Like, I'm 41 now, so later in my life, I developed, more intense grand mal seizures, where I would violently shake and, bite my tongue, dislocate my shoulder, and fall down, and I've had a couple traumatic brain injuries. So over the years, it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse, and it's impacted my work life. I mean, I can't work anymore. I'm disabled. Uh, and 2 months ago, I had brain surgery. You can't see it, but I feel it every time I feel my head. Like there's like a big rift. There's like a valley right here where they opened my skull up, and they put some electrodes in my head, and they put some electrodes in the thalamus, and determined that this is where the seizures are coming from. So through the surgery, they did. It was a big hemorrhage in my head, so they had to get the blood out. But it ended up being a partial corpus callosotomy, meaning in one area, my right lobe is disconnected from my left lobe. I know it's a lot to take in, but for 2 months I've been seizure free. And yes, cannabis does help. I hear and I see posts that people are asking, does CBD help? Well, I was on CBD for months, taking Epidiolex, which is an FDA approved CBD treatment. I was on that for months, and I still had seizures. So for me, CBD is not the way to go. Now I've been on cannabis, taking indica, which kind of just puts my body in like not like a sleepy area, but it makes my body just really relax. I've been taking indica for months and months, and I've never had a problem. So you just kind of have to find the things that work best for your body. My body's different than your body. My body likes indica. My body also likes vinyl records. I love to listen and to collect music. That helps me. That puts me in a place of calmness. I started doing yoga, and I'm still not great at yoga because I have balance problems, but I'm getting better and better at it. I pulled up on the YouTubes and watch it, and I like once a week I have a yogi come by and help me out. So yoga has been another big cure for me. It puts me in a place of calmness, and I'm like a very anxious person, so I take anxiety medication, depression medication, and so for that, yoga has been a big help. Yoga, yoga and indica, both big helps. So, I mean, I can't drive, I can't do a lot of things, so I'm not very independent. So, I mean, being not independent weighs on me. And also, what kind of weighs on me is I know the places where I've had seizures, and I may not remember the seizure, but I remember the place where I was. So, walking in that same area, like walking down the street in the same area in which I had a seizure, I'm just like it shakes me a little bit because I know something bad happened there. Anyway, yeah, hit me up if you ever have any questions that you need answered. I mean, I've had epilepsy for like 35 years or something like that, or 36 years. So, I mean, some people are asking questions that I may have the answer to. Now, taking into consideration, there are many forms of epilepsy, and I don't have them all. I have drug-resistant epilepsy, which means, most of the drugs that you give me to help won't help me. I will still have a seizure. So I can help with a lot of questions, not all questions, but like I don't have absence seizures anymore. So I guess I'm here to tell you that I'm here for you if you have questions or if you're new to epilepsy. Epilepsy could come, and come on when you're 40 years old. It could happen when you're 5 years old. So I'm here to have like a more layman's way of talking to you rather than this is important. This is important. If you have epilepsy, see an epileptologist, someone who specializes in epilepsy. I went to a neurologist who, gave me an EEG, which is common. And once they got the results, once they got the findings of the EEG, he had to consult with an epileptologist. So I'm like, why did I even go to this guy? If you have epilepsy, see an epileptologist. It's their specialty. It's their job to work with epilepsy patients. If you have like cancer, you're not going to go see someone who knows nothing about cancer. You're going to go to a specialist. So please see an epileptologist. That is big time. Big time. Again, I'm John Scholes. I'll be on here on YouTube whenever I can. So, peace, love, and namaste.